Hello and welcome again. So for those who are new to my channel, my name is Jose. I do a lot of things, different things, like anything from astrology to languages to music, and certain things that I'm new to, like divination, tarot, oracle, runes. That's a fun one for me. Runes, and also I'm using boggle pieces, being creative, and also hydromancy. You've seen only one video of that one. I've been doing it offline. I haven't been showing you guys, but we'll see what resonates. Sometimes I get a message, and sometimes when I feel called to do it, then I'll do that. But today's topic, I wanted to show you if astrology is for you. Things to ponder or at least think about or process. Um, because sometimes you're wondering, it's like, how do I know? Well, go to astro.com or at least a website where they drop the charts. And if you can get a lot of asteroids, great. Astro.com is popular for that. Um, so what I'm going to do is actually going to share with you the screen right now and show you where to look for or what to look for. And I'm going to show you, as you can probably see, there are several planets that might show it in your chart, but there are also different ways to go about it. And I've never really done this before because I thought, what is that? So some of it's going to be probably a little bit of speculation. That's because I can only speak for myself, my experience. So first of all, the one thing that's a definite is if the sun is or the moon are connected to specific asteroids or rather even planets. So Uranus and Pluto are definite ones for that. I'll show you my chart. So I'm going to take out Judy here. That was a previous reading I did. All right. So I'm going to show you where my sun is. For those who haven't seen my chart, this is what it looks like. I have Sun Pluto conjunction, but I also have Mercury and Uranus. I feel very much at home when I'm actually doing stuff like with astrology. It's very, in my private little space and it's beautiful. Um, However, it is opposite of Chiron. So what used to happen is that when I used to care more about reputation, which is the 10th house, it kind of just like I was trying to prove it to others. And now I'm just like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. It's a motherly thing. Growing up in family, it's square my moon. You can see that there's a square aspect. For those who are new, the square aspect is like a challenging aspect. It keeps you awake. It keeps you alert and very conscious. That's what squares are. If you see squares, they're 90 degrees, lesser or lower, depending on the degrees. If you see those little brushes there, those are degree things. Okay. So that's one thing. So the moon here for me is also trine my sun, but also trine Pluto. That makes me double air, but also doubly drawn to astrology. So conjunctions, trines, and sextiles often signify a flowing aspect. Well, conjunctions are challenging, but depends. It could be a good thing you could use. It could be something that you could, an energy that you could use. So I have my candles like lit right now. Um, there's other things too. So if you see Uranus, Pluto, Uranus are a big one. If you see them in specific places like um, actually any of the houses, really, it'll be appropriate for those. Except for, let's say, I don't know, I would say the ninth house, which is about philosophy, that could still be there. Seventh house is more a little bit more serious, like the 11th or the 10th, sorry, not the 11th, the 10th house. If it's a seventh house or the 10th house, it's a little bit more serious because you're getting into some sort of like your worth is connected to that. It's like you have to agree to it or something like that, but it's not that strong. And the sixth house also. Sixth house, if you have a placement of Uranus or Pluto in the sixth house with your sun and or moon, and if it's a conjunction, sextile, or trine, I feel those are strong. But it would be more towards something like medical astrology, where you're actually helping. people in a very physical level, similar to the first house. But with the first house, it's more like kind of like a curiosity. Now, if you have Saturn conjunct your, especially if it's conjunct to your Uranus and your Pluto or those kind of things, there are things that that signify as well. But it is if you do have Saturn there, or if it's trying to those aspects, if it's sextile, sextiles it just feels natural, but you have to flow with it. Or rather, you flow with it, but you have to put effort into it. But if you do have Saturn there, Saturn will help you create a more disciplined aspect to it. If it's something like fun things, like if it's tied to Mars, you'll expend a lot of energy with that. So if you have Mars conjunct or trine or sextile your sun and your moon, that would make it sort of like a lot of energy put into it. It depends on what signs there are in them. If it's in a fixed sign, most likely fixed signs, you have Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. If it's any of those fixed signs, you're most likely going to last longer with your so-called studies, which I never recommend. It's a waste of time. At least for me, it was. It just doesn't work. It's boring. It's not inspirational. It's not mystical. It's not cathartic. Okay. Um, yeah. Um, you might value it if you have Venus in any of those placements. If you have a connection to the planets there, like I said, Uranus, Pluto being there. But Venus would more like be more tied to your self-worth. So you'll see it. It might feel like you're working with self-worth. Neptune is a little bit more mystical. So if you have Neptune in aspects to those planets, like I said, Uranus or Pluto, and again, conjunction sextile trine. Um, text here says injection. Conjunction. Conjunction. Okay, there we go. Injunction, conjunction. That's what it's reading. Okay, but if you do have Neptune there, it's going to feel more like something fantastic, something that's like, ooh, there's a mystery in it. There's a bit more spirituality added to it. Jupiter would be more like if you had it with Jupiter, then it would feel more like you want to work on it, you grow through it, and then you actually might find business tied to it. But it'll kind of flow a little bit. Conjunction might be depending on if there's also Saturn. Like for me, I have this one, you see that? I have Jupiter conjunct Saturn. That's slow. Just call that. So I'm going to show you other things too. There are two asteroids that are mainly associated um, with astrology. And so Urania and Imhotep. If you happen to have Urania and Imhotep in the same exact, like if it's a conjunction, it's like they're together and they're like either your sun or your moon, you are really drawn to that. Okay. There you go. See, I have Urania. It's actually, there's a conjunction here hidden, but because there's other asteroids here, but it is close to the sun here. Okay. But also I have Imhotep there. So you see how I'm like very much drawn to it. Um, people might not see me as an astrologer because you see the placement here, it's square my ascendant. So that's one of those things. People feel like it's a hidden thing. Especially with this online stuff, it's hidden. But once people get to know me, they realize like, oh, he's serious about his astrology. Yes, very serious. Um, very serious to the point where I have a 700-page single space based on personal research on asteroids, literally how they function, what they do, and basically that. I'm not going to show you what that looks like yet, or I can actually kind of have showed you. There's some videos where I've shown that, but it's a lot. And that's because I was serious about it. I'm still serious about it, and because I've already done a lot. I'm almost done. There are extra ones that I'm working on. Anyways, I digress. So those are the two other ones. If it is in the same aspects as I said before, like conjunction sextile trine, you'll have those as well. There are other ones. Um, I believe there are other ones. I haven't discovered them yet. Oh, here, I'll show you. Actually, let's go back. What is it? Astronautica? Astronautica. This is a little bit more general. I discovered this like last year. So see, Astronautica. Even if you have astronomia, astrometria, I'm not sure about astrometria, but maybe astronomia, you might. You might. So let's look at astronomia. I've never seen this asteroid before. It might just make me use that asteroid. You never know. Okay. Okay. It's square my Mars. Okay. I don't know what that means. I feel like it's going to 7 degrees Pisces. Oh, I'll tell you right here. I know where that is trying to. And I know I'm just probably jumping the gun here. I know this is for you guys, but bear with me here. Um, oh, vertex. I believe it's trying to my vertex. Yep, I was right. It's trying to my vertex. So that means I am meant to meet people who are also interested in the stars, even astronomy. So that kind of makes sense. Yeah. And I transform through them and they transform through me. It's kind of hidden, very, it's in the hidden houses. The hidden houses are the fourth house, eighth house, and 12th house. There are also the houses of endings, sorry. Um, Anyways, those are several things that will show you where if you're drawn to that. One last thing though, if by any chance you're any of these planets and asteroids, okay, so Uranus, Pluto, so Urania, Imhotep, Astronautica. The Astronautica is conjunct my North Node. That shows right there. It means you're being called to go into it. If it is drawn, you're drawn to that. It could be either a mixture of, or one of, or a mixture of all of them, or a mixture of whatever. Either just the stars, astronomy, astrology, all of them, or a combination of some of them. Okay, or something to do with divination. Either way, it's astro, the stars. So if it's tied to your north node, if it's tied to your south node, that's where you know you're good at it. You'll see it's like, oh, I'm really good at it. For me, I'm more like I was drawn to it and I've had to work at it. But for those who have it in their south node, which is down here, right there, it's an upside down T, right there, that will show into past life thing. Parallel lives, past life, are the same. Okay. So there you go. I hope that helps and gives some more insight into if you are into it. So go to astro.com, type in those asteroids, and you'll see which ones if it's you're drawn to it. Because you also feel it in yourself, right? You don't really need astrology to prove that. If you feel very drawn to it and you feel like very interesting, and you go for it. So as Bashar says, highest excitement, take it as far as you can go until you can take it no more. Always stay in your positive state. You know his formula? Bashar, look it up. Daryl Anka channels him. Wonderful stuff. But anyways, I hope that helps. That's it for today. Comments down below if you have any. I'm not going to read anything that's negative or something that's I don't resonate with, but still comment down below. Whatever I pass it, I'll pass it, whatever. Doesn't matter. And like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later. I hope that helps. Stop. Bye.